Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting. Actually, I got like cardboard boxes in the background and all kinds of stuff. And another episode of Cash or Trash. This is the show where I look back at this week's hot comics and I give my opinions on what they're going to be. Obviously, we're late today. Normally, I do the show at 1, and then here lately, because of football season, I've been doing it all the way up at 11 a.m. on, Central Time. Today, I'll be honest, at 11 and at 1, I wasn't even sure I was going to get a chance to do this show this week. But things worked out, so we're going to do this. We're just a little late getting it out today. So I went from thinking I would not be on YouTube at all today this morning to I'm going to be on YouTube all 3 of my usual times. So we're going to have Cash or Trash. We're going to have the whatever report coming up here in a couple hours, and then we'll be hanging out with Big Will playing D&D on Sunday night. So we got several people hanging out with us. We had Unruly in here tailgating. What's going on, my friend? Big Polish guy, welcome. Jay Hood, good to see you. Perry, what's going on, my friend? Lurking as always. It is great to be a Georgia Bulldog right now. I was a little surprised A&M pulled the upset last night because they've been playing so bad, but there you go. Matrix Comics, welcome. First live chat. I was going to say, I didn't necessarily recognize the name in the chat, so that is awesome. Welcome. Glad you can make it. Maybe me being late today worked out for you, so I hope that works. Collectible paper, you are always a winner in my book. I just don't have a price for you. And Dr. Lovebox, what is going on? So as I said, this is Cash or Trash, where I make predictions about this week's hot books and what they're going to do over the next 6 months to a year. My predictions are sure to go wrong because if I knew what I was talking about, I'd be a lot richer. So there you go. But how I lump these books, I put them into several categories. I put them in a straight cash, homie. Books I think are going to continue to climb, even from what they are right now, even though they're hot right now. They're going to keep going up. I got the worth it books that are probably worth what they're going for right now, but, probably are going to stick pretty close to the prices they are right now. I got the I'll Be Back books I think that are going to be fairly close to what they are right now, but probably if you're patient, you can get a little better deal. You can do a little better than what they are doing right now. The It's a Trap. These are books that are going to drop in value, in my opinion, significantly. The Come On Man, which is, I don't even understand why we're chasing these books at all, really. And of course, and the Dumpster Fire, just like, this is stupid. So those are my categories. I put these books in for Cash or Trap. Hey, Scott Loves Comics. What's going on? Welcome. Big O, welcome. So we got 19 books I think this week. So let's get into this because I don't have that much time to do this. So we're gonna squeeze this in real quick. So let's pull this up if I can get this to go. Hey, there we go. First on our list this week, we have Youngblood #2. Because this thing there's been claims that they're going to make a profit movie or show or something forever and ever and ever. This book, raw copies are going for $10 to $25. 9.8 are going for $300 to $400 for Youngblood #2. And Really's already given his opinion. Trash. Here's the thing. Okay, maybe they finally make it this time. They've been saying this for years. Maybe they finally make it this time. Supposedly Jake Gyllenhaal's attached, whatever. Even so, how much is Rise Zero worth right now compared to what it was in the run-up to the Bloodshot movie? Like, this is absolutely a trap. Are you kidding me? There's a billion of these things. The raw copies at 10 to 25 aren't ridiculous, but the $300 to $400 for 9.8 of Youngblood #1 or #2? No, that is absolutely a trap. If you want to call like the $400 for 9.8 probably is this, but between the two, I'm going trap overall for this one. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Nobody's ever cared about this character. Nobody's ever going to get profit. Time has finally come. All right, Bronze Age Nerd clearly disagrees with me. Give me dinner and I'll think there's got to be a billion of these in dollar bins that you just have to dig for. #4 flat brand. There you go. Yeah. Plaid has been kind of rediscovered recently. Definitely being sarcastic. Nice. But yeah. No, this one makes no sense to me. There's no way I'm going after this. Next, we got letter 44. This Charles Scholl basically said that if there's 10 steps, like this was his tweet was basically if there's 10 steps to getting something to the screen, it's on step 5. So people went out or rushing out to buy it at $10 to $15. Because it's $10 to $15, it's just an I'll be back in my book. But we're only at step 5. It's gonna be forever before this actually hits the screen. Yeah, like all option news. You hear option news or information. And if you're actually interested in the book and don't have it yet, write it down, come back later. Yeah. We need to hear a strong 90s bullet. There you go. It's about 15 of them. Oh, well, if you can get them, if they're high grade, maybe now's the time to finally sell some of those young bloods. There you go. Well, then I'm sure there's trades out there somewhere. Wait 5 years. Yeah. Wait. All right. Next, we got Berserker #1. So Keanu did an interview this week where he was talking about it and said there was a writer attached to the animated show. And they were working on some other stuff. But here's the thing. $6. Average sale is $6, which is basically cover price. 9.8 went for $50. Is this even hot? This is another one of those that Tom and them put on the list because there were a few sales, but it's not even hot. It's not hot. It's worth it because it's cover price and we know something's going to be made. Okay, $50 for 9.8. Sure. Like, who's going to go after this A cover? There's like 4,500 of these, 4,500 billion of these different covers. So grab one of the more rare ones if you're going to grab one. Yeah, there's a crap ton gazillion of these. Yes, exactly. And Unruly John Wick. That is actually a good description of what this is going to be. Oh, but he's man and Unruly John Wick. So sorry, Unruly, but yeah. Yeah, this one doesn't. It's not even hot. It's $6. You stop reading after 6. It's only going to be like 12-issue run or something, at least initially. We'll see if it goes further than that. But yeah, I'm not seeing it with this. Next, we got 4 NYCC variants that made the list this week. First up, we have the Walter Lau New York Comic-Con Batman 1989 #1 variant with kind of the homage Michelle Pfeiffer looking Catwoman. Gorgeous cover. Couldn't find a list of, like, they didn't list how many of them there were, or at least that I found. There you go. Warren Lau. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Maybe it's Low instead of Lau. But yeah, so the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman from the movie. Not my bad. I have this 1989 book. There you go. Again, they weren't sure how many. It's going for $75-$80. That seems. I personally love Michelle Pfeiffer. I love Catwoman. This one doesn't do a whole lot for me. I'll be honest. But my guess is, generally speaking, like con variants are either take off or they fall back. So like they either collapse because nobody really cares, or they take off. Is usually what con variants do. So of course, I'm going to go with worth it. That's what I said they don't do. But I feel like this is probably going to be. It's going 75-80. I feel like this is going to be kind of in that range. If I knew how many of them there were, if there was, then I might be able to like say one way or the other that it would go up or down. Living in the Past, Banana Wolverine was the bomb. Yeah. Falling. I'm probably wrong. It's probably an I'll be back. I'll be honest. It's probably an I'll be back. But I put worth it. But yeah, I kind of went back. Oh, here we go. 3,000 trade, 1,500 virgin. That's not that limited for a con variant. So there's 4,500 of them all. The trade dress, the 3,000 is only going for 35 to 50. I'm going to I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to put it as I'll be back. I don't think it holds. I don't think it holds high value. My guess is it's not going to be much worse than this, but yeah. I'm changing my mind. I'm putting it as I'll be back. There you go. Store variant, man. Well, this is a con exclusive, but yeah. Next, we got get over here. Miles Morales, number 30. Miles Morales Spider-Man, number 30, the Raphael Grassetti New York Comic Con variant, limited to 1,000. This is, of course, a Spider-Man 1 homage, which those tend to do pretty well in the secondary market. But here's the question. Is anybody, this suit, like this new look? There you go. You can still get it for 25 on the trade. Yeah, I don't think that book's going to hold. They would be gone. Can't stand these ZBrush covers. There you go. I don't think it's a particularly good cover. Like I don't particularly like this one. And then I don't like this costume. I think this costume is crap. So, yeah, I'm leaning. This one's going $80 also in that $80 range. I'm putting this as an I'll be back as well. The costume has to be, the costume has a lot to do with whether or not these homages actually matter. I don't think there's anything in the book particularly unless I'm missing something with number 30. Yeah, I'm definitely saying I'll be back on this one. If somebody knows that there's a key here, Squared. Looks like his balls are punching out. Ugly cover. Yeah. Hey, man. What's going on? Yeah, I just don't think it looks very good. For sure. Next, we got Nottingham, number 1, Francisco Archidiacono, NYCC variant. Here's a question. I know these are still going well, but I've heard nobody talk about these. Does anybody care about this series? And I don't know that this is particularly that cool a cover. This is another one. It's going for 100. Or no, this one's going for 90 plus. Yeah, so almost 100. We got another pass. Yeah. +1 pass. Yeah, I know Nottingham had some buzz early. I don't feel like it's really sustained it. To me, this is another I'll be back. I think these hold all three of these I think are going to hold probably 50 plus to get them because they're NYCC variants and stuff, but I don't think they're holding where they're at. I just watch me be way wrong in 6 months, but there you go. This wouldn't be the first time. So, and then our last NYCC has nothing to do with the story. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Last NYCC variant is Department of Truth number 13, the Jordan Javin variant. This is an album cover homage, which those tend to do better. This one's going for 100. This is actually going for the most currently. Here's my question. Is Department of Truth still hot? Is this series still, I know there was a lot of buzz when it first started coming out. I feel like it's just slowly tapered off. There's so many variants. You are absolutely correct. So Scott's saying worth it on this one. That's where I put it, just because I'll be honest, I put it at okay, people are saying it's still hot. They're saying, yeah, that it's still doing good. Okay. I just don't feel like I've heard people talk about it recently. Yeah, it has a ton of variants for this whole series, which I guess should be my sign that it's still doing pretty well because there's still a ton of variants for every issue. I put this one as worth it because of the album cover homage as much as anything. It's going for 100. My guess is it stays in that range. That's my thought. I don't know. I was pretty wishy-washy on the NYCC stuff. Next, we got, 4 more covers that aren't NYCC related. First up, we have Deadpool number 3, the Stan Sakai 1 in 25. This one's going for 40 to 50. It's hot because it's kind of rare for Sakai to do these kind of covers. He doesn't do a ton of covers outside of he doesn't do a ton of stuff, period, outside of Usagi. He doesn't do characters like Deadpool very often. I think it's cool, but I think it's a really cool cover. I enjoy it. I like Stan Sakai's art. I love the dragon or the T-Rex samurai. I think that is cool. But it's a 1 in 25 going for 40 to 50 at release. I'm going to follow my rule on that one. This is not a nice enough cover, I think, to change the rule. If it's only doing double ratio, then it's going to settle between ratio and double ratio. My guess is this is also an I'll be back. So yeah, despite how cool it is, to me, it's an I'll be back. I think you'll be able to do better in a few months. Next, we have Soul Plumber #1, the Riley Rossimo 1 in 25. Like CBSI the CBSI guy even said, most weeks this probably doesn't even make the list because it's not that hot. It's only going for $35 to $40. This is an I'll be back. This is not going to matter. This is, if anything, this is leading on a trap. Next week 30. For me, it's still the guy, right? Next week 30. There you go. Comic Journey might be a little bit behind. His comments is a little bit behind with the Nottingham stuff. This is a meh. This is a pass. I'll be honest. Even though it's going for just there's a plumber in the title. There you go. I get that. I get that. But yeah, 1 in 25. That's not even making double ratio. No, this is not going to hold. If 1 in 25 is not even making double ratio, then my guess is it's a trap. My guess is it's under ratio. You'll get it under ratio in a few months. That's just like where it's at. Because if it can't even get to double, there's no way it's even probably holding ratio down the road. That's just usually the way these go. Next, we got our last kind of cover this week. Feels kind of weird. So I figured out why I screwed up a couple weeks ago when I said Larson on that 316, because I was parroting back what they said on the Tom video, because Russ made his mea culpa, like he said that on the McFarlane cover. So this Venom cover now is suddenly starting to pop as well. Raw copies for this are going for 20 plus. 9.8 hit 300 for this early Venom cover, this Larson one. My guess is we got a Worth It from Scott. Dope cover. Love this book. For me on this one, I'm thinking this is probably, what did I put on this? Actually, I lost my place on my page. Oh, I actually put straight cash. My guess is all this early Venom cover at only $20. My guess is we're going to come back and we're going to look at it being like a $30, $40 for a raw copy. And I would guess it holds at 300 plus for a 9.8. Is this like the second real, this is another early Venom for sure. I'm not a huge Larson fan. I know some people love Larson, some people don't. He was the one that gave him the crazy tongue. 347 is also dope. Yeah. But yeah, I expect this to continue to climb. I expect all this early Venom stuff to continue to creep up. That's what I think is going to happen here. Even with the movie moving away from the movie and that kind of stuff. Next, Killmonger #1. The movie photo variant. I could have put this in MCU instead of covers. I put it here because it was the movie photo variant and not just the book. Basically, there's rumors that he's going to return in Black Panther 2. With the multiverse, I guess he could. Here's the thing. Like, the source for these rumors, which they even quote, is not a good source. This is not a trustworthy source that's putting this out there. This is not somebody that tends to have information, that tends to know what they're talking about. There's a source that tends to just throw shit against the wall and hope it sticks. It's going for $50 for this 1 in 10 movie photo. I agree with this. I'm not a huge fan of the photo covers. It's not horrible. I personally thought his arc was good. I don't necessarily need to see him brought back. But maybe they do. I don't know. But like, to me, this is definitely an I'll be back. I think there's no way they confirm he's coming back anytime soon for me, this is definitely something that I'd come back, because the source is just not a good source. There's no way I would chase this book based on that source for sure. Yeah, not into the. Lots of people aren't into the photo covers. Next, we got Secret Six, #1 from 1968. I didn't realize this book was quite that old. I thought it was early 70s. But anyway, first team appearance of the Secret Six. There's also a first appearance of a DC's version of Mockingbird character. But basically, this is kind of a DC villains team. They've had several different series over the years. People are speculating that this is going to be the follow-up to the Peacemaker show, or that the Peacemaker show is somehow going to lean into lead into this. James Gunn made some kind of comments that made people think this might be where he was going. People are talking about that he was resurrected in the comics. Yeah, everybody's been resurrected in the comics like 3 times collectible at this point. Is there anybody who hasn't died and been resurrected? Seriously. Silver Age, who gives a secret? So here's the thing. Raw copies are up to $150. The 9.8 went for $400. I don't get the raw copy $150. I feel like that's like a outlier. There's no way that raw copies of this are going for $150 on average. Maybe like really high grade stuff. This is absolutely an I'll be back for sure. Uncle Ben. Oh, there you got me. You got me. Uncle Ben still dead. Yeah. So the Mockingbird, just a first appearance in this book. That's not what I hear. Secret shit. Yeah. I almost lean trap on this. I put I'll be back because it is Silver Age, but you're probably, you know what? You guys are talking me into trap. This is absolutely a trap. There you go. I got more traps this week than normal. Silver Age kind of kept me on the I'll be back as opposed to the trap, but there's no way raw copies are averaging $150 in 6 months. There's no way. Next, we have Cable and Deadpool #24, the first meeting of Spider-Man and Deadpool. In this book, raw copies are going for $250. This book is not that hard to find. I don't get the whole let's chase first meeting of characters. Maybe that's just me. I don't get it. This is true. Yeah, it's $400. Yeah, I know it's Silver Age. That was what I was like. Why I was a little like generous with the Secret Six when I put the I'll be back initially. Maybe I probably should stick with that. But I think raw copies are going to back up a ton. Anyway, back to this book. First meeting of Spider-Man and Deadpool. This didn't come out until 2000. This came out in 2006. They didn't meet till 2006? Really? Like, I find that hard to believe that there is no meeting between these two characters till 2006. But supposedly that is the thing. This is my feelings. First meetings, that has to be a fake sale. I wonder about that, but they were saying average $250. There's not a ton of these on there, but there was like 10 or 12 copies on eBay when I looked. This seems ridiculously high. I put trap on this one too. This just doesn't make any. Matrix loves first meetings. There you go. This one is a pile of rancid, man. First meetings do nothing for me, and maybe that's biasing me here, but I don't know, maybe this book is not super high print. I'm sure it's not Cable and Deadpool 24, but yeah, I just don't see it unless I've got my dates wrong. Unless I looked at this wrong, but I thought I found it saying 2006. Maybe this would be 96. That just seems like way late for these two to meet. Now, that's a good question, and I didn't double check how many actual sales they were talking about there. They just said average. Next, we got Venomlethal Protector #1. There's 9 billion of these suckers out there for damn sure. His first solo title, and this is hitting the list because in the movie they call him a lethal protector. They use that term, so let's go chase it. What the? We will chase for the stupidest reasons. You weren't already chasing this book. Why did that make you think? $25 raw, which is, And yeah, there were several sales over 200. There you go. 611. There you go. So $232 for a 9.8. This is solid. I'll be back. There's just so many of these. Like I talked about that other Venom book, and I thought, it'll keep going. This one, I don't think so. I just feel like there's so many of these. Yeah. Complete crap. I don't feel like this is going to sustain any way, shape, or form. It's not going for that crazy, so I just put it as I'll be back. But yeah. Next. Trying to crank through these. I don't know how long I've been on yet. Oh, not too bad. We got Young Avengers Presents number 3. This is kind of the retcon origin of Wiccan and Speed. Not sure exactly what's prompting this book. It's kind of a weird book. Like, basically, it just retcons that they weren't, I forget the character they even said, but that they were part of Mephisto originally. And, yeah, but what's the real key here? Like, it's a retcon origin, and people are paying $30 for this, for raw copies? 9.8s are only going for $80, which indicates to me that this is kind of just some weird thing that people are chasing a little bit. Maybe everybody's just chasing any kind of Young Avengers stuff. But wouldn't you just go after their first appearance? Like, as babies or something first? I don't know. I got this as another I'll be back. I'm not sure what's going on here. This one seems odd. More Mephisto, yeah. This is bizarre. Yeah, way overpriced. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having the airs on that Lethal Protector, that's for sure. Who gives a crap? Shh. My dog's going to make a whole bunch of noise now because he thinks it's time to eat. Because it is normally about the time I feed him. But I got 4 books left, so we're going to crank through them real quick. Come here, Bubba. We got Fantastic 494. First appearance of Agatha Harkness. This is jumping because she's getting her own show. 9.2 hit 1,000. 9.4 hit 1,500. Like, I realize this book is from 1970. But we're paying $1,500 for the first appearance of Agatha Harkness in a 9.4. Think of all the books you could get. Like, I realize she's going to have her own show, but is she really worth this? This makes no sense to me. I feel like she's a side character. Yeah, she was fun. Catherine Hahn is great. We're getting worth it and straight cash on this one. Kirby and Lee, Fantastic Four, always straight cash from Unruly. No bias there on Unruly's opinion. I just feel like this is a lot for her. I just think of some of the other characters you could get first appearances of for $1,500 that you're going to pay that for Agatha Harkness. I think it could be fun. It depends on what they do with it. I do think it could be a fun show. But I just think this is way high. I'm probably wrong on this, but like I'm definitely putting this as the I'll be back. I think it's early enough FF that it's under 100 FF, so I think it holds pretty well. It's clear they're going to use her multiple times, so it probably holds decently, but I don't think it's worth what it's currently going for. That just seems super high to me. I think this is an I'll be back for sure. That's just my take on this. Hold steady. Yeah. Won't be buying it, but only going up. Well, maybe. It seems like a lot. 7 Lethal Protector 9.8. All right, next. I know, dog. You're like, hey, time. Second week in a row. This feels like a complete and total Tom and Key Collector push. Like they put this up last week was on the list because it was going for $10 and there was a bunch of sales. This is the first appearance of Pybok, the Power Scroll, and they're basically specking this one guy that's been cast for the Secret Wars show or Secret Invasion show. It's going to play a scroll, and they're guessing that it's this scroll, even though this scroll barely ever appears other than this one time. And so last week it was $10, and a 9.8 went for $130. After they pushed this book last week, and talked about it. Raw copies are now $15. Woo! But a 9.8 went for $325. Are you freaking kidding me? $325 for 9.8 of Pybok, the Power Scroll? What the? What? This is, come on, man, trap, dumpster fire, whatever you want to call it. No way. This is dumb. Yeah. Yes. Who? Yeah. For sure. Everybody agrees with me on this one. This one just seems dumb. 2 books left. I know, puppy dog. I normally feed you at this time, and you're about to start barking. Next, we got Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 3. The first appearance of the second Titania. Basically, the actress who's been cast in this role for the She-Hulk show posted her picture with the wig on this week. So people are jumping on this book. $55, 9.8, $255. On my Look Back show just this week, we talked about like Mobius, and we talked about some of the characters in Ravonna, and we talked about and how all those books have backed up. After they appeared, the side characters all backed up. Falcon and the Winter Soldier books all backed up after they appeared. They were all I'll be back. Now, 6 months from now, this could be higher because we'll be getting close to the actual show, but I feel like this is absolutely an I'll be back. Raw copies right now are $55, a 9.8 went for $255. This is going to be a side character. My guess is she might appear in 1 or 2 episodes as kind of a side villain. She's not the main villain. Book for $15, very high grade. There you go. Yeah. I mean, I'd be patient on this one. I think you could do better. I think this one's probably in dollar bins everywhere, like back issue bins, because none of those Secret Wars other than 1 and 8 have ever really been worth anything to this point. So I doubt very many people are. I bet you could find these for sure. I would not be chasing this book. And then last but not least this week, or maybe least, we got Marvel Holiday Special 1991. This is the origin of Santa Claus, where it explains in the Marvel universe, at least, he's an Omega level mutant. It's how he does all this stuff. And basically, this is pure spec on James Gunn making the comment that the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special will introduce one of the greatest MCU characters, and people are thinking it's just going to be Santa, the Marvel version of Santa, and he's going to be a mutant. That's what they're specking on. Raw copies are $10 to $30. We are over a year plus away from this. James Gunn. So he made a comment. It could literally be almost any character. No. Yeah. It's kind of a cool, fun book. Some of the stories are kind of dumb, including the Santa one. It's kind of a weird, dumb story, but at best, this is an I'll be back. I'm putting it solidly in a trap category. I didn't like very many books this week. I got a bunch of traps. Yeah, it's a trap. Even if he is using Santa, like we're over a year from this year, and we're 15 months, 16 months from this special. Because then 22 or 23 when the Guardians Christmas special is coming out. I think it's 22. But yeah, fun comic, not a key at all. There you go. This is the truth right there. Anything with ink on it, people are specking on. I think this is Santa might appear, but I doubt they're going to let him call him an Omega level mutant. Like there might be Santa in the holiday special, but I doubt they're going to let the mutant thing out of the bag that way, for sure. It's not Santa's first appearance in the Marvel universe. It's the origin where they say that he's actually a mutant. That's it. Pretty much. So that is this week's list. There was a lot of friggin' hot garbage on this list, even though a lot of traps for sure. Even though I didn't really call that many of them hot garbage. Hey, Damascusm, we're just going off of here. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Sorry I was a little late today. At one point, I didn't think I was going to get this done. I'll be back with whatever report later tonight and then hanging out playing D&D. thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to get out of here because this dog's like, feed me now. So, all right, later, folks.